of one of the most influential sports figures in history, right? And so we don't know what Bronny's made of. We don't know if he's good or bad. We really don't. We just know he's LeBron James' son.
Let's go, let's go, let's grow, let's grow, let's get it.
What's going on, Coach Rod, man? Black Dad Unfiltered, man. We just impromptu. We don't own a filter. We just coming at y'all with some trending news.
Man, listen, you got me on my bed for this one, Los. You got me on my bed for this one.
Man,
But
this
again,
one,
again, just want to always let people know this is Black Dad Unfiltered, man. We're changing the narratives, going conversation at a time. So this was worth getting out of bed for to talk about what we were about to talk about right now.
Most definitely, man. We're gonna get into Carlos V. Spencer, Coach Rob. We're gonna make this thing happen. For those of you who don't know, I don't know if you've been sleeping up under a rock, even if you ain't watching sports, the whole LeBron James, Bronny James, maybe for the listener who's watching that has no idea about that, which I don't know how you wouldn't know, but let me be nice. It's LeBron James, one of the greatest athletes of all time, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Some say he is the greatest. He is the leading scorer right now. His son.
In what sport?
In basketball.
Okay.
His leading scorer in basketball and leading NBA scorer of all time. Came straight out of high school, went right into the pros. Never had his father around, which is very powerful because he's married his high school sweetheart, has only children with her, has been married for a long time. And for the most part of what we've seen of him, has really been a great clean image, especially for Black fathers. His oldest child, which is his son, Bronny James, who is some skepticism, is some stuff we're going to talk about here, played high school basketball, was a decent athlete. Some were saying, okay, he went to college, had a health scare, and I believe he averaged 4.8 points a game, and then went into the NBA draft and got drafted round 2, number 55, 55th pick. And some people are saying, he
nepotism.
Be in the NBA. Some people are saying a lot of people are saying nepotism, that LeBron James looked out for his son. We know LeBron has been saying, I want to play basketball in the NBA with my son. We know he's been saying that. He's made that extremely known. And so the critics are saying the only reason why Bronny James is in the NBA is because of his father. Father and son, Black Dad Unfiltered. Let's talk about it. What comes to mind?
Listen, first, I'm going to correct you. His son's name is LeBron James Jr., right? And the reason why that's important is, I don't know if you know the backstory behind why he called his son LeBron James Jr., right?
Oh, not Junior, but I know why Bronny started calling himself Bronny, but go ahead.
Well, he called himself LeBron James Jr. to remind himself of the responsibility he has, right? Because it wasn't just about him. So it's a whole background between why he called his son LeBron James Jr. And what's interesting, but when we talk, we can go behind it. But recent years, he hasn't been talking about his son playing with him. At some point earlier in his career, when his son was getting ready to go to high school, is when he said he would love to play. But more recently, he's been laid back off of it. But to your point, this is a hot topic, right? Because here's a kid. For all intents and purposes, we don't know what he's really made of because he's always been under the shadow of one of the most influential sports figures in history, right? And so we don't know what Bronny's made of. We don't know if he's good or bad. We really don't. We just know he's LeBron James' son. And so now I'm going to frame this differently for our listeners. He has a professional position, and the question is, did he merit that? Because for him to have this position, someone else has to lose this opportunity. Is that fair? Right?
Where you going with this? I'm ready to play some tennis. But come on, okay.
You know what I mean? Well, but before we go, Los, let's be clear. I will do the same thing with my son.
Okay, I like it.
Oh, no. Let's not
be very clear. Yes.
My son, my daughter, my cousin, my nephew, my niece, my grandmother, my father. You related to me. If I have the opportunity to put you in a position and you've done the work to get you to a certain point, I'm gonna hook you up. However, we do have to be practical here in this conversation because we're just not bringing one perspective.
Okay.
At what cost?
And I'm with that. I'm with that. But I will say a lot of what people are saying, which is very true. I just saw a clip. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was on some I don't know if it was ESPN or I don't know what show he was on, but it was a gentleman, a white gentleman, who said, "Oh, people are saying nepotism." He said, "Let's be clear. This league has been full of nepotism."
Colin Cowherd.
He's like, "Yeah, let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. When you go to the front office, you go to ownership, you go to the way these organizations are run, you go with the structure, you go with the jobs." He was like, "It's been full of it for a long time," which is some of the other argument for some people who are saying this is nepotism. It's like, okay, you're saying it like it hasn't happened before on different parts of the game. Now, mind you, it's in everybody's face. His LeBron James is one of the most known athletes of all time. Polarizing. And what you stated is very true. Okay, is he good enough? I can say on the critics' side, 4.8 points a game. That's not impressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being real. Somebody might be mad at me for saying that, but for somebody to go to the NBA, which we're saying this is the best athletes in the world, the best basketball players in the world, I do understand he had a health scare. I think of something with his heart. I don't know exactly what happened. And so that did have something to do with
he had a degenerative heart condition that he had surgery for to repair it, and the NBA cleared him.
Right. And so it had something to do with the way he produced in college. The other part that I'll say, and I know I'm going back and forth, I'm putting it all out there too. He went and showed, was it for the combine? I know it's combine in NFL. Is the combines for NBA as well?
Yeah, there's a combine, and then they do their runs. So part of the pre-draft workouts is they play a little 5-on-5, and he did his thing.
For me, your father can voice some stuff. Your father can open some doors. Nepotism, yeah, okay, it's there. But he still had to go perform. I saw just one stat, and I'm not getting exactly right, but it was somewhere around, I think he had a test where he was shooting and testing his three-pointers, and he made like 95 threes or like 114, something like that. It's like those aren't shabby numbers. So it's not like he went and flopped. He obviously went and impressed somebody, and he obviously has put the work in. I can't say he's putting the work in. He's not just some kid sitting on the couch who one day said, "I want to play in the NBA," and now your dad can give you opportunity. Your dad can give you opportunity, and I'm with you. I would do the exact same thing. But you have to be doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You have to be producing something for your dad to be able to give you. James Brown said, "I can just show me the door. I can walk through it myself." His dad showed the door and probably opened the door. Man. But Bronny's still got to walk through it.
You woke me up for this? Some more quotes, huh? But don't worry. Next year, I'm coming with this. 2025 is my year.
Yes.
But I think the conversation is the wrong conversation, brother.
Okay, talk to me.
I think the conversation, because all right, so let me support what you're saying. Nepotism has been around, not just in the back office, front. It's been on the court. Giannis plays with two brothers that shouldn't be in the league. They're on the Milwaukee roster,
me nice.
Right?
Wait, you can't skip past that fast because some people don't understand that, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So Giannis,
two of his
played
brothers,
with the Milwaukee Bucks,
has two of his brothers on
team.
Yep.
On the same team.
On the same team on the bench.
And why are they on the team? You got to talk to me.
So this is going to tie into what I'm about to say, because the Milwaukee Bucks want to keep one of the best players in the NBA on their team, and to keep this player happy, you going to hire his brothers. It's as simple as that. So this brings me to my next conversation, which is nobody's talking about. This is business. Let's be clear, because people are making this about winning, and winning only matters because it leads to money. Let's not kid ourselves. There's plenty of organizations that don't care about winning because they can still make money. Right? They had got a whole movie called Moneyball. Keep the lowest pay roster.
Great movie, by the way.
Let's stop. So this is about money. So whether he's good or not, the Lakers will be sold out. Whether he's good or not, his jersey will sell. Whether he's good or not, movies will be made. So from a business perspective,
it's a smart move.
And what is it costing you?
Not much
at all. He's a second-round pick. He's not guaranteed $1 million. Remember, there's tiers to your contracts depending on where you got drafted.
Right.
And you get to keep LeBron James.
That's the big part. So, and not only that, I heard somebody say, which I totally agree, not only do you keep LeBron James, now you help LeBron James light another fire. He with his son now.
Matter of fact, listen, Los, let's take this. Let me call you Carlos, because I see people starting to call you Los in the street now. Right?
Disrespecting my name. They think they cool just because me and you cool.
Remind me to tell you about when I first heard your name was Carlos. But anyway.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But think about this from a business perspective. And again, the more recent reports over the last years, LeBron's going to make his decision. His son makes his own decision. Rich Paul, the agent, has separated them. And it's the media telling us what LeBron's thinking. So you and I, we don't eat with LeBron. We don't play ball with LeBron. We don't drink with LeBron. So we're feeding into what the media says. But from a business perspective, I'm going to take your son. You already want to be here. So now I may be able to get you for another 3 years, which means my organization continues to make money. Let's explain the money part real quick. Yeah. It's not just filling the stadium. It's LeBron James is on your team. You're on television Christmas Day. These are TV rights. Mm-hmm. Every time you play on television, you get paid. Mm-hmm. So the Lakers are getting paid, right? And the Lakers ain't winning a championship no time soon. Let's just be clear about that. Dang. So this is a business decision. Or as they're presently constructed, they're not winning a championship no time soon. Number two, LeBron James has been notorious for he does not care how stacked the roster is, how loaded the roster is. You're going to pay him his full amount of money. LeBron James has never taken a pay cut. Maybe a little bit in Miami, but he still took a lot of money. His son is on the team now. Guess what he might do finally?
Might get some other players, because I believe it would. How dope would it be to win a championship with your son?
How dope would it be to create an environment where my son can flourish? Right?
Yeah.
So I might take $10 million, $12 million less, and if he takes $12 million less, that opens up the cap space for the Lakers now, and now the Lakers can be competitive. So from a business perspective, this just made sense. Now, let's move on to the father-son perspective, right? I don't think LeBron James ever told anybody, take my son and you're getting me. I think the only two teams that were in contention were always going to be the Phoenix Suns or the Los Angeles Lakers. But let's get down to the brass tacks of father and son. America is built on family business. In case you don't know, 50% of the employers in the United States are small businesses. Why is that relevant? This is family-owned businesses. Father, son, father, daughter, mother, daughter. So this ain't no different to me. We're in the basketball business. We're in the basketball business.
So let me ask you, why you in that space? Because this is my question. Because this is what a lot of people are either talking about or missing. A lot of people are saying, okay, well, it's wrong for him to do this for his son. So why is it wrong for him? You hear the saying, it's all right when they do it, but it's wrong when we do it. Why are people saying it's wrong now if it's proven that this has been done? Small business is the backbone of America. You just stated, and it's been done there. It's been done in the NBA. Right? It's been done in the league. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm going to pull this up right everywhere. Here. Somebody put it on mine. Jerry Jones, who's the owner for the Dallas Cowboys, His son, Stephen Jones, is the chief operating officer. Charlotte Jones, executive vice president, chief brand officer. Jerry Jones Jr., executive vice president, chief sales and marketing officer. These are three of his children. I don't see nobody on the news talking about, oh, Jerry Jones, he can't do that for his. So why is it that it seems like it's a problem now?
I'll tell you why. One, it's who's doing it.
As a black man, or it's LeBron James? It's
LeBron, because remember, Yannis is black. Although Yannis is of Greek descent, he a Greek citizen, I think born in Greece or immigrated to Greece, he still is African. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna push back. I want you to push back too. I still am on the black person. Like, is it because he's black? And I say that because a lot of people don't know the Yannis story, right? A lot of people who follow basketball.
That's my point, Los. It's because he is LeBron. It's because he is who he is. It's because he is as popular as he is. It's because he is as polarizing as he is. Mm-hmm. It's because whenever you get to the top, everybody wants to knock you down. This is why people who are filthy, filthy rich don't let you know they're filthy, filthy rich. Mm-hmm. LeBron James is the person for us to attack. Not us, you and I, but for everyone to target.
People as a whole. There's a line in the movie Air. You ever seen the movie Air about Michael Jordan?
Nah.
So beautiful movie, man. It's a scene in this line. I don't know if it's true or not. If it's true, it's powerful. If it was writing, it was beautiful writing. He sat across from Michael Jordan in the movie. The guy who worked for Nike, I can't remember his name, but he's a person.
Knight?
Was that? It wasn't Phil Knight. Mm-hmm. Phil Knight was the owner, but it was another gentleman who was responsible for building this Jordan brand, right? Mm-hmm. And so when he came, you came right.
Yeah, I hear
When
you
this
perfectly
gentleman
fine.
came, he sat down at the table at the Jordan's house. He said to him, either at the house or at the office, he said, "We're gonna build you." Speaking about people in the world, we're gonna build you up because you're gonna be the greatest athlete ever, and we're gonna build you up just so we can tear you down. I said, "Is that what we do to people?" And,
Yes.
and as soon as he said it, it was like you think of any famous, popular, rich person, is like you build them up till you hate them. Everybody used to love the Kansas City Chiefs until they started winning too much.
Yeah, listen.
Why do we do that?
Live. What is it? Live long enough as a hero until you become a villain, right? But I
So
say
you're
this
saying you're
also.
making a valid point. I
Yeah.
don't disagree with you. They're trying to tear this man down and his son.
But now you also, I'm going to flip it on the other perspective, right? Because I already told you this is a business. So Lakers have two balancing acts, right? So whenever you have a company, you have your employees and you have your customer.
Yeah.
And I always tell people it's two sides of a coin. You got to make both happy.
Okay.
That's what the optimal results. But you also got to think about the fan base. The fan base. And I don't know what the Laker fan base is thinking, but the Lakers, who are going to pay an enormous Laker fans, who are going to pay an enormous amount for tickets. They don't want to pay to see people lose. They don't want to pay because the Lakers is not a building organization. It's a win now organization.
Yeah.
And even though I just said it doesn't look like they can win now, as long as you have LeBron James, you have a chance, right?
And
You're
people
not
see
as
that.
bad as you really think you are, right?
Mhm.
As long as he's on that court. So they're thinking that you're not operating in the best interest of their organization. Remember, fans have this thing we call in business. We have a term in business called organizational citizenship. This is when the employee aligns themselves so much with the organization, they mentally take ownership over it. It's like you and I, we played football. Our UB was our team. And I said this before, it was not our team, Los. We played for them.
Mhm.
It was the university's team. But whenever we walk around, we walk proudly with UB. Today, if they win, we won today. Did you see that? So the fans take ownership over the team. And if they don't think you're doing what's in the best interest of their team, there's an uproar. Now, when we think about this, is Bronny good enough? We're going to find out, right? We're going to find out. But the reality of it is there may be somebody who does not have the same access to money that Bronny does, who does not have the same access to fame that Bronny does, who does not have the same access to the NIL deals that he does, that represents the blue-collar worker who's fighting and scratching, who went to college, who can ball and was never going to get a chance because no matter what, their mind was made up when this kid was 14 years old that he's going to play for the Lakers. Right. So, and that's why I think people are feeling. They're in their feelings about that. Like, this is not fair. Right. That's the term. But it is fair. It's perfectly fair because this is never about drafting Bronny. It's about keeping LeBron. So if LeBron, now let's flip it. If LeBron said he wanted this other player to be his three-point shoot, perfect example. If LeBron says, I want JJ Redick to be my coach, what are you going to do? You're going to hire JJ Redick to be your coach. So stars have this type of power nowadays. Sorry.
Let me ask you this though, in that space. So I think we agree that there was some nepotism. Do we agree? That
I mean, because I might be famous.
Your family members stepped in and made a way for you that may not have been there had they not stepped in. Do we agree that happened?
Listen, man, like I was about to say, this podcast may make me famous in 1 year, and I don't want this clip to come back. So we're going to, I plead the fifth, like David Chappelle said.
Oh,
plead the fifth.
You put me on the bench many a times. No, you said I don't care what the title is. What would you?
I will say this. He did have opportunities because of who his father was. Whether his father played an active role or not, because when you're that famous, it creates a path regardless. So there's an automatic benefit to us as Black men pushing boundaries because inherently it will open up doors for those behind us. But I don't know if he told the front office, hey, you got to draft my son. I don't think he did.
I don't know if he did that. I don't know if he did that either, but his father did. Yeah, his father did. His father did look out for him. Also, I do believe that he made the McDonald's All-American game because of his father as well. I don't know if his father stepped in for that, but it's because of his father was. I do believe that there is some nepotism there. I do. For
No,
me, I do.
Los,
Well,
I
I do
think
100% believe he's LeBron James' son. LeBron James, I don't know what he says to the back office, but we know LeBron James has said, I want to play in the NBA with my son. Not
so.
necessarily saying on my team, but he
Mhm.
said, I want to be here when he gets here. He's made that known.
So I will push back here, right? Yes, he's made that known. We agree to that. There's no doubt in my mind. LeBron James and Savannah James are happy right now. They loving this. They what did you see Savannah retweet repost that Instagram thing? There was a breaking news. LeBron James is sleeping with his teammate's mother.
Yeah, I know she retweeted it.
Yeah,
I saw somebody said that. I was dying laughing. I saw somebody said LeBron James is sleeping with his teammate's mother, and the teammate's mother is married.
But you know what I mean? But I say this: I don't think LeBron James, because he's calculated. I don't think he said a single word because I believe he would know that people are going to use it against him. I think those who are opportunistic, and this is capitalism, and they want to be connected to LeBron James, either voluntarily or involuntarily, right? Meaning that LeBron James ain't saying nothing to me, but if we accept his son, he might come on campus, he might be a donor. So people are looking for ways to get close to him. So this is what I sit there and say, when you said the McDonald All-American, I just think people are like, yo, it's business. Do we not bring him? If we bring him, do we get more visibility for this program? Do we get more funding for this program? But I don't think LeBron James went to anyone and said, hey.
I don't think he did.
My son. So this is what I sit there and say.
But I believe in the league, though. Yeah, he did. He did.
I'm knocking the camera. You got me knocking this camera.
He did. He did for the league, man. He did. He said, I want to play with my son, and he has the power to be able to shift some things by his words and what he says. Okay. Now, mind you, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with him. I would do it for my son. And again, if his son could not step up to be able to walk through the door himself, then that's a problem. I do believe it's nepotism that has definitely been involved in this situation, 100%. I don't think it's the only reason. I don't think it's the only reason, but you see it done everywhere else. That's why I ain't got no problem with him doing it now for his son. You see him. Here's the other thing. A lot of the same people who have a problem with him, if he did nothing, would have a problem. They'd be like, oh, well, you can't help your son. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't win for losing. Oh, you ain't gonna help your son? Oh, he's trying to get to the league. Or you ain't gonna speak up for him? So it's like you can't win for this. So I guarantee you, if he didn't say anything, that people would have been attacking him. Oh, what kind of father are you for not helping your son out?
Yeah, but Los, I think the conversation has to be very clear here. It's not a black man helping a black child conversation. This is a specific to LeBron James because. Sorry, there's plenty of stories of in football, black coaches, their kids are the ball boy. In baseball, their kids are the I forgot what we used to call it. There's kids that catch balls on the side and kids that get you your baseball, your baseball bat. Ball boys.
I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to separate race from it. For me, I'm not speaking for you, but it's hard for me to separate the race out of it. It's hard for me to. I don't believe if this was a white man and his white son was coming to the league, I don't believe he would catch as much flack as LeBron James is catching because he's black.
You know what? You know what's going to be hard to – in football, it happens, right? Kurt Warner's son got a tryout, right, only because he was Kurt Warner's son, right? Because he didn't have the speed to be a receiver, so he got a tryout. I think it's tough in this sport because the league is mostly black. With nothing, so it's going to be hard for me to, objectively say to parse it. I think LeBron James has a target on his back. I think LeBron James, because he's challenging the cultural icon of Michael Jordan, there's people within his own community that are going to look to tear him down. Then you look at the fact that he's changed the power structure, and that's really where this is coming from. People are not mad that his son got drafted by the Lakers to keep him. They're mad because they think he wields too much power. Remember, LeBron James is the first one to restructure his contract to be in alignment with TV deals. It's like, now we're going to do this. So LeBron James is the one that's saying, no, to get me, you're going to take these players. LeBron James is really the poster child for the shift in NBA power so much to the players, right? LeBron James has been the one to take political stances. So I think specific to who he is and what he embodies and what he represents, and because he's been so Teflon that you can't find a crime, you can't find moments of adultery, you can't find him outside drinking, you can't, that people are looking to tear him down specifically because Jordan had his kids playing. Now his kids weren't good enough to make the league. I'm not sure if any one of them got a tryout. I think this happened. I think this happens all the time, and I think it's just because it's LeBron James. And it's hard to say this will be different. If there was a white player as good as him, maybe. But I do know in basketball, all these white basketball coaches, their sons are on full scholarship on the bench. Matter of fact, bust it. I hate to monopolize the conversation. What's it called? Bobby Hurley and his brothers, the UConn coach. These guys got coaching opportunities because of the connections. Bobby Hurley, Duke national champion. His brother's not coaching. You know, the Calhouns from Syracuse.
Yeah, so which is crazy. You know, he coached at UB too. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know he coached, and then he left us after we were winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's a whole other conversation. I can't imagine. Like, that's a college sport. Either you leave while you hot or you get fired when you cold. Like, that's what happens.
And so this is what I'm saying. This is business. This is business.
It is business. I like what you said too. I want to pull out that you said Michael Jordan had sons who played basketball and they weren't good enough. So a testament to Bronny, no matter how people want to tear down his numbers and say how much he didn't produce, he was good enough for somebody to pick him.
Listen,
that's saying a lot for the young man.
So this data, and I got to credit my man Nick Wright with this one, right? You know, they got their show. It's a statistic that says 30% of NBA players' sons experience success in the NBA. So this is a percentage game. People are actually saying if your father played in the league, which means now you've been exposed to the locker room, there's a greater chance that we can get a greater return on our money for you. So the data supports taking him in the second round. I would have been upset. I would have cried nepotism if he was a lottery pick.
First round.
If he was a lottery pick, I'd have been like, come on, man. Nah, this is too much. This is too much.
Let's look at this too, man. Which is a beautiful point you laid out. I think that's a powerful thing about fatherhood and as a whole. Your father opens up a door that makes it easier for you, which I believe I've often said, if your children have to do everything that you have to do, like what's the point of having a father? You've seen it with the Mannings, right? You've seen it with other families as well. You know, Archie Manning played, and then Peyton Manning, and I'm drawing a blank, his other brother, Eli Manning as well. Not saying they weren't good, but I firmly believe that if somebody blazes this trail, especially your father, like you said, the stats say 30%, which I believe both of us are saying that's a good chance that you're going to actually do better. If somebody blazes this trail and you see this, it's doable to you, right? It's like, oh yeah, I can do this. I'm seeing somebody who's done this before. So I commend, LeBron, other fathers as well, who have blazed a trail for their children.
I got an example for you because you just said it. Because you said that you don't. This is why I said I don't really think this one's particularly race. I didn't think this was specific to LeBron. Eli Manning. I think this is prior to Eli, John Elway. So give you a little football history, right? John Elway was a Stanford quarterback, excellent baseball player, right? I think the Colts had the number one pick. He told the Colts, if I'm wrong, anybody feel free to correct me. If you draft me, I'm going to play baseball because he was good enough to play baseball for the Yankees. So he kind of dictated. Eli Manning, remember his brother was Peyton Manning, father Archie Manning, right? Told the Chargers, do not draft me. He forced an NFL team wielding the power of his older brother, of his father, to say, I'm not going here, I am going there. And everybody was in an uproar. That's a good example right there. people were like, who do you think you are? Because remember, he played at Ole Miss. He wasn't from Tennessee like Peyton.
Like
He wasn't a
Peyton,
Heisman Trophy candidate like Peyton Manning. He wasn't tearing up records like Peyton Manning.
but
His
he's
last name
still
was Manning.
yeah.
His last name was Manning, and he was a quarterback. And people were like, if he is half of his brother,
Right.
and guess what happened? He got what he wanted. He ended up in New York, was not half of his brother. However, thank you for the 2 championships, Eli. Much appreciated.
You much appreciated. Didn't
Just
Kobe do something like that?
New York Giants are 4-time Super Bowl champions. Just making sure you know that.
Didn't Kobe have somewhat of a say so in him going to LA?
Nah, man. Just Charlotte took him. Nah, Kobe didn't have.
I thought
Kobe was a high school player. He always wanted to play for the Lakers.
Okay, I thought he said he wouldn't go on.
No. Jerry West spotted. Jerry West wanted Kobe badly.
Wanted Kobe. Okay.
It wasn't Kobe telling the Lakers, "You got it." Who was Kobe? His father wasn't Jordan.
Right.
It's Jerry West that wanted him.
That wanted him a song.
So that's what I sit there and say. It's to me. It's so. I know you want to say something. To me, I can't separate the fact that LeBron James is black. So I got to concede that to you.
Yeah.
Right. I can't say it's only because he's LeBron James, because had he been white, wielding this type of power, he might have been, the next president of the United States. Who knows, right? But I can't say, right? But I can't say. I think it's mainly because people just love to hate this man, and they've been attacking his family, his son for a while. And I'm happy for the boy. I'm not calling him a boy. I'm happy for the young man, because the boy has a negative connotation. It's history. Yeah. I'm happy for the young man. And the one thing I will say that I've seen myself while watching some of their games, this is something he wanted. This is what he pushed for. This is what he worked his butt off. He's the one that had to have the health scare. He's the one that put his life on the line. And so if your father can help you achieve your dreams, every black man should want their child to be better than they were. Hands down, I do not back down from that statement. And if you have the opportunity to open a door, and your son walk through, and that's the part where we're saying we agree on this. I think LeBron may have created an open door because of who he was.
Right.
Bronny's the one that still walked through. Bronny's the one that went to the practices. He's the one that showed up. And I know I'm going on a long rant. My apologies, Los. But don't let the 4.8 points fool you. That don't mean nothing in the NBA. That don't mean nothing in sports, right? Because professional sports is based on your potential when you're in my system.
Yeah,
that's how
he's an athlete. Like if you've watched him at all, he's an athlete. He has athletic ability. He can play the game, and he has the potential for some. Was that?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying much, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
you know I'll say give him a little bit of magic.
Yo, I will say this. I commend LeBron.
Sure.
He didn't have a father growing up.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Grew up single mother. And to become the black man, the black father that he is, the things that he's done for himself, for his family, for others, I commend him, man. Like, hands down, to see somebody doing what he's doing. And I'm not saying he didn't have any male influence, but without having a black father that's raised you, like, you have to commend this man on what he's done. And this is yet another notch in his belt, another thing that he's doing that may never be done again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I hope, and I don't know the man, and I can only speculate, take guesses, hunches. I think he may be reluctant to speak about the journey until his career is done, right? But I hope one day he does talk about fatherhood and what were the ingredients in shaping him. Because I do know that it was 19 when him and his girl, they weren't married yet, and she got pregnant with a LeBron James Jr. And I do know, I've read that he said he was scared to death to be a father for the very same reason. I don't know what I don't know. And you've mentioned it in a couple of our shows that you've outlived your father, right? So you're saying your father died at 19. This man didn't know his father from day one.
Right.
So the minute your son is born or turns 5 or 6, it's all new experiences. So I hope one day he talks about that and lets us in a little bit, because I think it could be so inspirational to so many people.
It will be dope. So, man, even on that note, unless there's something else you want to share, man, let's play the video at the end of this episode because he talks about that a little bit on one of the videos that we showed. He talks about how he was afraid when he had his son. He goes into a little bit of that, and it's a great piece, I think, by Beats Headphones. They put this commercial together for him that he starts off talking about some of that story. Anything else you want to share before we play that and end this out?
Yeah, one thing, and we haven't done tips in a while, and I'm not trying to share no tips, but I would encourage people, when you see LeBron James, take away the money, take away the fame, look at the character, the discipline, and the work ethic, right? And the conscious decisions, because being a father is about making decisions, having integrity, and having character, and having the discipline to stick to that. So again, if he ever watches the show, or if anybody's watching it, listening and identifies, kudos, because this is a proud moment for me as a Black man in history. Because when I see that man step on the court with his father, it's not just Bronny stepping on court. It's my son stepping on court. It's your son stepping on court. It's every man who wanted that type of dynamic with their kid. They get to see it, and we know. What's it called? I forgot what it's called. It's escaping me. Representation matters.
Yes.
So again, I'm just hyped. I'm hyped, and I'm looking forward to seeing that first day when when LeBron passes in the ball, he turns it over. Is he gonna get a spanking? Is he gonna get a high five? I'm curious.
That's not where we thought you was going with that. Where LeBron passes him the ball and he turns it over.
Like, you know what I mean? Because if you were my son, yo, fire this guy.
Sub him out. So I do believe representation matters. He talks about some of that fear at the end of this same clip. You see them shake hands, and that same feeling, like I think that you're talking about when you step on the court. Sure. When I first saw it, I was like, man, that is dope. So we're Black Dad Unfiltered. I'm Carlos V. Spencer.
It's your boy, Coach Rod. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's get it.
All right, y'all. Y'all take a look at this, and y'all be blessed.
Knew I could be a great ball player. And I had you. And I had no idea how I was going to be as a father.
Man, just chilling in my son's room.
Chilling. I'll be honest. I was scared. But I kept trying. And as you grew, so did I. Patience, commitment, joy.
Yes, sir.
The things I learned from basketball. But really, I understood from you.
Watching the best show ever.